What you'll see on the screen here is a real-life example of such a strategy and tactic tree for a very large organization. Level 1 is the goal, achieving profitable growth through one simple ABB. This is the company ABB. Level 2 are defining all those key changes that are needed, the compliance issues, the first decisive competitive advantage, the productivity improvements that can increase or reduce the avoidable cost, the second competitive advantage, and even the social responsibility elements. Level 2 is kind of the priority of what top management should be focusing on. So you really shouldn't be working on a number 2.3 if you still have work outstanding on a number 2.1 or 2.2. And you'll see level 3 breaks it down into even more details. What do we need to do to build, capitalize, and sustain this? And then specifically level 4 then goes into details of what changes needed in sales, what changes needed in procurement, what changes needed in manufacturing or production or planning. So this provides us with a complete picture of how are we going to be achieving this goal that we've set out to do. There is, of course, another way of building a strategy and tactic tree. So I've already mentioned 2 ways. The first one is that you build it from scratch, following these 4 steps that I've just mentioned. The second one, by far the easiest, is to go to our Goldratt library inside of our app, select one of the strategy and tactic trees that is closely representing your type of company, being it a retailer or a technology company or manufacturer or distributor, and looking at it and customizing it, keeping those boxes that are relevant, removing those boxes that are not relevant for your environment. But there's another way, and that is using the process that we've developed called the Procon Cloud process. You'll see that process is captured in our Harmony Decision Maker app, but it's also included in the Harmony Change Maker app as our auditing process. That starts with some problem that you're currently experiencing, some kind of performance gap, for example. Then it says, why is this really important for you? And why is it important for the organization to resolve, to ensure that management is focusing on really important problems? It then asks you to define the conflict in dealing with this problem or solving this problem, and what the unique pros and cons are, and the goal and the threat. And then guides you through the 4 options that you have in order to resolve that conflict in a win-win way. Then guides you through the process of listing all the yes buts and creating a yes and plan, and finally summarizing your full solution in a kind of a project charter. And what you'll notice from that project charter is this is exactly the same format as one of the completely defined boxes are on a strategy and tactic tree, starting with why a change is needed, what was the original problem and why is it important, what's the strategy that you want to achieve, what are the unique pros that you want to gain and retain without gaining and retaining those cons, and then what's a tactic, what's a breakthrough, the change plus, for example, method, and all the additional ones that you've added. And then all the viability assumptions are the assumptions that you've challenged in the process. So using the auditing process that's embedded in the Change Maker app or the Decision Maker app, using this Procon Cloud method, you can actually create each of the changes and then put them together to create an overall strategy and tactic tree. So that's a third way that you can build your own strategy and tactic tree for either your own company or for your own organization.